Haryana Urban Development Authority in Faridabad and Gurgaon, they have used forest land illegally, sheer illegally.
ये उम्मीद लगा के बैठे हैं जी सेठी साहब ने कहा इस महीने के अंदर तुम्हारी माइंस चल जाएगी.
No, it is not illegal. You know, these colonizers have everything with them, all approved plan.
नहीं, ये अवैध हैं जी, सारे फार्म हाउस अवैध हैं. ये फॉरेस्ट में आए हुए हैं, अरावली के अंडर में है.
The Supreme Court has told to stop mining in these areas, but still the mining is going on.
From Delhi, to beat the heat, the lakes of South Haryana used to be a great summer respite. The official tourism website of Haryana is still full of promises. Damdama is deep and nearly 8 kilometers in length. Badkal Lake delights with its large water body. Surajkund, believed to be built in the 10th century, by Rajput King Surajmal. Surajkund Lake attracts flocks of migratory birds every year. All that sounds like an epitaph. The lakes are no more. The water bodies that used to be the crowning glory of the Aravali ecosystem have literally vanished into thin air.
पहले करीब इसमें 50-60 फीट तक पानी फुल हो जाता जब भरता है ये.
जल स्तर इसके ऊपर तक होता था जहाँ ये अपना बंद बना हुआ है.
The lakes which are in the Aravalis are actually incredibly old lakes, which is what people don't realize. They are fantastic natural heritage formations, and that's something that hasn't happened in this history. Which is that the lake has dried up, and perhaps we need to know the reasons why such a thing will happen.
West of the Aravalis are the vast dry lands of Rajasthan, an extension of the mighty Thar desert. East of the Aravalis is a different picture, all humid, fertile and green. Haryana is on the other side. Delhi, the national capital region, and the fertile Gangetic plains are on this side. Aravali creates a natural barrier that prevents the Thar desert from creeping in. Without it, the food bowl of India stands no chance. These dried up lakes are the vanguards of worse days to come.
The Aravalis constitute a major landform that prevent the desertification of the plains of Delhi and NCR.
But what happened to these lakes? We found the answer to that to be deceptively simple. Rain-fed channels and groundwater fed these lakes. Once these sources were cut off, the lakes dried up.
There were 3 lakes. I don't call it lake, rather water bodies. Surajkund was there, Badkal was there, Damdama was there. Whole catchment area of Badkal, one side Ankir village, is fully covered with mining pits and farmhouses. On the southern side of Badkal, the Palik area, badly mined. The water, rainwater which was coming to Badkal, totally stopped. Surajkund Lake, most of the area, catchment area, has been occupied by Kant Enclave 1 colonizer, other side is Lakewood colonizer, and rest of the area, the major Nala was coming across by crossing the Anandpur village. Farmhouses have been constructed. All the passage, water channel have been blocked.
On the face of it, it seems the miners and the colonizers are responsible for this disaster. But why were they allowed to ravage the ecosystem of the region? This stretch of Aravali is notified as forest land. All non-forest activities here including mining and colonization, are illegal.
This mining mafia was headed by very, very powerful politicians, not one, across the party line, 5 to 10. Some were member of parliament, some of even very powerful men, some ministers. So many people were there.
Realizing the danger, the Supreme Court of India has asked for a complete ban on mining in this area. But we were told clandestine mining is still on.
The Supreme Court has told to stop mining in these areas, but still the mining is going on. It's mostly a lot of illegal minings are still happening. There are legal as well as illegal mines. I think the illegal small scale minings are still happening.
When we drove down to the mining areas, we were not allowed to peek inside. Constant monitoring by unfriendly faces. These visuals are all that we managed.
और जब से माइंस बंद हुई है जी, यहाँ तो बेरोजगारी है। कोर्ट में अपील की है जी सेठी साहब ने, लेकिन बताते हैं पॉल्यूशन की वजह से। कोई बताता है जी पहाड़ में पानी निकल गया, ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है।
We also saw some trucks carrying stones. If the stone quarries have closed down and mining has stopped, what were these trucks carrying?
खान चल रहा है कहीं? खान का काम चल रहा है यहाँ आसपास कहीं?
हाँ, पाली में
चल रहा है।
हाँ।
तो वहाँ से अभी आपको तो कहाँ पाली में जा रहे हो?
हाँ जी।
कब चलता है ये खान का काम?
मोहम्मदाबाद में चल रहा है।
हाँ?
मोहम्मदाबाद में।
और ये मोहम्मदाबाद है जगह कहाँ?
ये आ गई है थोड़ा।
कहाँ?
ये सीधा आ गई है।
उधर खान का काम चल रहा है।
For decades now, miners have drilled the sinews of Aravali and left it to rot with open wounds. We found quite a few gaping holes with absolutely no reclamation work. They dig out the topsoil vital for vegetation, plunder the rich resources beyond it, and leave it alone, just like that.
In the beginning of 20th century, the forest cover was 80%. During 1982, it was reduced to 30%. And during 1998 and 2001, it is reduced to 15%. Official figure. But unofficially, it was told that the forest cover today is just of 9%.
Supreme Court gave for a research study on the satellite mapping of the whole Aravali. What they did was that they superimposed the 1912 revenue map on the satellite map which has come recently. When that boundaries were put on the satellite map, the Supreme Court as well as the Ministry of Environment were shocked that amount of forest land which has gone into this urbanization.
Between Surajkund and Bhatkal, we saw numerous apartments and plush farmhouses, all of it on notified forest land. Civilized people pining to stay away from the madding crowd. Civilized people with money and access to the corridors of power.
All those buildings, including engineering college or some so-called universities or temples, Huda Gymkhana Club, police station and Huda sectors are illegal. Or illegal have been constructed in violation of Honorable Supreme Court judgment and law. And no permission has been taken by anyone.
Mr. Balwan must be exaggerating. All this can't be illegal. A project like this requires truckloads of money. People won't dare invest that much without proper paperwork. Robin Dasgupta, resident town planner of Kant Enclave, assured us he came across as a man of principles, strictly adhering to the laws of the land. He showed us documents to prove nothing is illegal about Kant Enclave, because they have all the requisite permissions from the highest authorities possible.
We can show you the document, approved, stamped, signed by even when so-called notice was given to this colony, why you are not doing the construction, this when they renewed the exemption, it was signed by Chief Minister of Haryana. So how can it be illegal colony? Even our ex-Chief Justice and many justices are staying here.
On our first visit to Kant Enclave, we missed this house. Nice home for retired Chief Justice. Serene, close to nature, and with all the requisite legal permissions. This is the farmhouse of Mika Singh, overlooking Lake Damdama. There are numerous farmhouses coming up next to the lake. Interestingly, some of the farmhouses have taken part of the lake and made it into their own private lake.
मैं फार्म पे जॉब करता हूँ। इन फार्मों से मुझे ऐसा कोई लगाव नहीं है, क्योंकि जंगल जितना था वो सारा फार्म हाउस में घिर चुका है इधर का। ये अवैध हैं जी, सारे फार्म हाउस अवैध हैं।
There was no doubt, there was no confusion. It is all the corrupt bureaucracy. It was the bureaucratic corruption which allowed large-scale mining, large-scale colonization, large-scale construction of farmhouses in these forest areas.
पुराने आदमी थे वो उन्होंने बेच दिया ये 54 गज में 4 आने गज में कितने गज में ये बेचा हुआ है। अब तो ये करोड़ों रुपए की वो बन गया जी कोठी।
But that's just a minuscule section. The suffering majority as a community has lost more than what they have gained. They have lost their groundwater, for instance.
पानी ना है, कहना रही तो पब्लिक पानी ना पीवेगी तो कैसे जीवेगी?
हम तो प्यासे मर रहे हैं जी बिल्कुल पानी के लिए। तो ऊपर का पानी कहाँ रहेगा जब नीचे ही पानी नहीं है तो।
Some of them are waking up to the fact that this can't go on forever. But that will mean standing up against big interests of big people. Swimming against the tide in any case is tough. It becomes tougher when the river is shark infested. M.C. Mehta was the first person to file a PIL against illegal mining in the Aravalis. That was back in '85 against illegal stone crushers. A small beginning, but a step ahead with far-reaching implications.
In 1992, the Supreme Court of India closed down the stone crushers operating in Delhi and part of Haryana.
The hydrogeological report came in 2008 April, which was conducted by the Ministry of Water Resources, and so that report told that about 8,86,000 cusecs of cubic liter of water is evaporating every year due to the exposure of the water bodies, and these water bodies are all formed due to the pits which were not closed down.
What we did in this study was to use the NASA GRACE satellite system to monitor changes in groundwater in northwest India and to quantify the rate of groundwater depletion for the first time using satellite observations. What we found was that during the study period of August 2002 to October 2008, and averaged over the Indian states of Rajasthan, Punjab, and Haryana, including Delhi, the groundwater was being depleted at an average rate of 17.7 cubic kilometers per year, which is equivalent to a water table decline of about 1 meter every 3 years.
Both the Haryana government, Haryana Development Authority, and all other authorities, they all connived with the mining mafia in those areas, and they allowed all this to happen. And as a result of that, today you can see the fate of those hillocks. There, all illegal activities have mushroomed there.
In February 2009, bogged down by media reports, Haryana's Chief Minister announced that the state is planning to bring back its lakes before the forthcoming Commonwealth Games. But with what? Where will they get the water from? The Haryana Urban Development Authority has come up with a brilliant plan of filling up the lake with wastewater from the power plant of the National Thermal Power Corporation at NIT Faridabad.
NTPC recently, they proposed to dispose of some of their fly ash wastes along with the water to such water bodies. Depending upon the pH of the water, if the water is of alkaline nature, there will be tendency for these fly ashes to remain there itself. But if it is acidic, there will be a tendency for these toxic chemicals and toxic elements to get dissolved and leach along with the water. It cannot be 100% risk-free.
While making this announcement, the Chief Minister of Haryana added that his government was committed to stop illegal mining that's harmful to the water bodies. Strangely, just 3 days later, the same government was getting ready to auction mining leases for 2 more years for the Sirohi and Khori Jamalpur mines. This despite the fact that the Supreme Court has posted a hearing on mining and construction in the Aravalis for March 18, 2009 and asked for a status quo to be maintained till the date of hearing. No one appeared for the auctions. It got stormed.
Honorable Supreme Court judgment orders were there. Punjab Land Preservation Act is there. Indian Forest Act is there. Forest Conservation Act is there. Legal powers were there, but nobody implemented. There was a big bureaucratic nexus with the developers, colonizer mining, and bureaucratic system ignored everything.
If you see over a period of time, the mineral that was extracted from this region was only sand and stones, which is minor mineral. Even before the ban and during the ban and now also, they are going to do that only. That's confusing. People get confused between minor and major mineral. Some people think it's only minor mineral, so it is not going to have any impact. But in this Aravali region, we have only this minor minerals only. They have guidelines for rehabilitation works, but again, when it comes to enforcement in the ground level, that is totally absent. There is no proper monitoring agencies. No one knows who is going to exactly monitor what kind of mineral is going to be quarried and what is the exact area of quarrying and what is going to be the exact depth to which the quarrying is going to happen. And those things, the monitoring is a problem. Guidelines is always a guidelines, it will be in the paper, but in the ground level, how the state authorities are going to monitor the guidelines, that is the main issue. The hill is the main catchment area for all the lakes and water bodies. Once the ridges have gone, and I don't understand what they are going to rehabilitate.
But wait a moment, a solution seemed to be in place.
This is one of the 100-year-old Moram mine pit in the Aravalis. This pit we have converted into conservatory of orchids, which is known as orchidarium. The pits can be restored back without any physical alteration for them. If the pit has water, we convert it into a productive water bodies. And if the pit does not have water, we develop into an appropriate forest community. The expenditure for all this is very minimum, but what we need is a commitment.